Hello. Morning, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Alpa Sharma, and this is our daily Hindu answer. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible to everybody. Morning. You hear and see me clearly, everyone. Good morning. Very good. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible. Right. Before we start off with our session, let me take you through a few things. Uh, if you're targeting the crash course for CLAT 2022, our batch 2 has been launched. So if this examination is your target, I would want you to enroll yourself for this batch at the earliest so that you make the most of the remaining time that's left in your hands. If you're targeting CLAT 2023, then a comprehensive course launched where I'll be teaching as well, like other CLAT 23 batches. So if you are targeting this 23 CLAT, then uh, I would see you here in the batch. For everyone who is asking me how I am, I'm just like yesterday. I'm not much better. Um, Also, another thing, like I take 2 articles, I got really breathless by the end of the day yesterday. So I, for today, would be taking only 1 article. So if you bear with me for a few more days till I recuperate completely, because of the cold, I feel really breathless by the end because of the multiple classes. And you guys know that I'm going to see you again at 4 p.m. today, right? I'm sure you've seen the session that has been put up. So I will take only 1 article today. I apologize for that. But I'm going to take an important article which has a lot of inference to be done. Only this week, I hope you bear with me. And next week, I hope I am going to recuperate completely. Thank you, everyone, for understanding. If you're targeting MHCT, LAT, SLAT, BLAT, JAMIA, then since the pattern is a little different, our batch 2, an express course has been launched. And you can enroll yourself for this batch right now because otherwise it's going to be really, really late for you. Also, if you're targeting legal affairs and current events, batch 2 for this booster course has been launched where Nivedita ma'am and Abhimanyu will aim at teaching you specifically legal affairs and current events, and that is when you don't want to um, study other subjects. Yes. So, thank you everyone for understanding. Thank you, my children. Thank you for understanding. No, it's just a bout of cold and fever. That's all. I did not get tested, so I know. I don't know if it was anything else or not. All right, so we are not going to do the revision today. We'll take up 1 article. I feel bad for saying this. I've never done that in the last 1 year. I'm going to take 1 article today from the Hindu that we're going to discuss in detail. We'll take up the vocabulary. We'll memorize the words. We'll discuss the tone of the author in the end. And you could write down the summary of the article under my video in the comment section. Also, I'll take you through the important articles from the Hindu and Indian Express today. That is something I'm going to do. So that you know कि मैम नहीं पढ़ा रही है तो मुझे पढ़ना क्या है कुछ टाइम के लिए. Okay? Good morning, everyone. Uh, Ragini, the session is going to be, I think, a multi-stream session. The session that I'm talking about, everyone who's joining me right now, I'll tell you what the session is about. At 4 p.m., I, along with the other people, other faculty members here who teach us at BYJU'S Exam Prep, will be coming live, all of us together, most of us together. KD sir is down with COVID, so he would not be coming. Where we'll be discussing about what are the things people do, the toppers do differently. What makes them different? What makes them get into the top NLUs? So we'll be talking about that at 4 p.m. today. I'm not really sure if it's going to be a multi-stream session or not, but it certainly is going to be live on YouTube. Okay? All right. So let's start with the vocabulary from today's articles. Okay, I had pasted 2 articles. I have vocabulary from 2 articles. So let's just do vocabulary and then we'll try to see if I can do 2 articles with you. Okay, so the first article, first page of vocabulary, the first word is temptation. Temptation is you've seen those chocolates, temptation chocolates, right? Why is it called temptation? It's called temptation because you have a desire to eat it up, or you have a desire to do something. Oh, that cheesecake looks tempting to me. That means you have a desire to gobble it down. It may be wrong to eat that much of a cheesecake or that much of a chocolate, but it is tempting, luring. That is going to be temptation. I'm in my area, Indian Express is not available, so I'm reading the Telegraph. Is it okay? Shreya, Telegraph's English is good. When I was a child, while I was in Assam, we used to get only and only Telegraph. That too, 2 days older Telegraph that was printed in Kolkata and it used to reach Assam after 2 days. So I know Telegraph's English is good, but intermittently I would expect you to be regular with these classes so that you don't miss out on the important articles from the Hindu or Indian Express as well. Okay? Desire, yes, that's going to be a synonym to temptation. Correct. Allurement, yes. Alluring, yes, Shafi, yes, Ayushi. They're going to be synonyms to impulse and urge, yes, Ragini. That's going to be a synonym as well. Urge to do something, eat it up, or anything else. Okay. Proscription. Okay. So basically, when you criticize or when you openly humiliate something, that's proscription. He plays a priest whose moral prescriptions led only to catastrophe. His moral denunciation, giving upon moral rules and regulations, led to a catastrophe. So, giving up on something, condemning something, criticizing something, that's proscription. So many synonyms to it. Uh, मूवीज फिर आप ऑनलाइन पढ़ा करो बच्चे. You don't have access to even a single English newspaper. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? क्या इंडिया में अभी भी ऐसे एरियाज एग्जिस्ट करते हैं जहाँ एक भी इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर का एक्सेस नहीं होता है? एग्जैक्टली हिंदू देखो ऑनलाइन सब जगह अवेलेबल है ना. ओके. फॉरबिडिंग ठीक है बोल सकते हो. बारिंग यस. प्रोहिबिशन, restriction, censuring. Very good Pallavi. Yes. All of them, all of these are synonyms. Okay. Yes. All right. So let's move to the next word, feasibility. Feasibility is, can we do it? Can we carry it out? Is it convenient? So it may not be really feasible for me to explain two articles today. I don't want to lose my audience, you know that. So please do me a favor. Please don't move away. Stick with me. Give me some time. I'm going to recuperate. Feasibility is it can be carried out. Is it suitable? Is it convenient? Its convenience is the feasibility. Yes. Okay. Oh, all right, Ayush. Okay. Plausible. Yes. Very good. Very good, Ayush. Plausible is a synonym to that. Correct. The synonym. Disallow or embargo for proscription. Yes, you could say that. You could say that. Correct. Okay. Vinda, I've been doing it for the last 1 year online. Started taking wager. Wagering is okay. Basically, satta, wagering. Betting is wagering. You don't know what the outcome is. India is बार match जीतेगी नहीं जीतेगी, wagering. You bet on horses, on matches, on gold prizes. There's a lot of wagering that goes on illegally in our country. I'm going to talk about which article. You now know that. Article number 1, take a screenshot, everyone, very quickly. Okay? Feasible is convenient. Convenience, yes. It's feasibility. Viability as well. You're right. It's simple. Satta, betting is wagering. Okay? Gamble. Yes, that's wagering. No पूजा बिल्कुल नहीं अभी कुछ भी नहीं. Gambling, yes. Betting. Correct. Let's move to the next slide. Wagering agreement. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Slide number 2. Conjure. Okay. Conjuring movie. Heard that? Heard of it? Seen the movie? I haven't seen that. But what happens? It's a ghostly feeling. Usually, मैजिक करके और घोस्ट अपीयर हो जाता है, something of that sort. The ghostly experience is a conjure. They hope to conjure up the spirit of their dead friend. वो क्या गेम होता था ना, इसमें ABCD होता है, the coin moves from here to here. Heard of something of that sort? That's conjuring. Oh Lord, spooky. Spooky is conjuring. Yes. Okay. Got that? Yes, the next word. But you must be wondering कि मैम ऐसा कौन सा आर्टिकल है जिसमें कंज्योर आ रहा है, बेटिंग आ रहा है, सट्टा आ रहा है, ये कौन सा आर्टिकल है? You'll know this. You'll know this. Next is legitimate. You should know this very clearly. Anything that's legal is anything that's legitimate. Anything that the law allows you to do. He claims to legitimate authority were denied by the court. Legitimate child, legitimate spouse, marriage, anything that's legal is legitimate. Embargo is ban. बेसिकली ट्रेड एक्टिविटी पे जब आप बैन लगाते हो ना, उसको हम लिटरली एम्बार्गो बोलते हैं. सो व्हेन देयर इज अ बैन ऑन द ट्रेड एक्टिविटी, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू import from China. Let's put an embargo to the products that come from China. इस बार चाइनीज पटाखे नहीं खरीदेंगे, इस बार चाइनीज कलर्स नहीं खरीदेंगे होली पे. That's an embargo. But any kind of ban on an activity can be called embargo. Yes. Oja board. Oh, I did not know that it's called Oja board. Okay, the next one, uh, obliterate, sanction, restriction. Sanction नहीं होगा, restriction होगा बच्चे. Embargo is restriction, ban, bar, obstruction. Yes, that's correct. Good morning, Muskan. Restrictions. Okay. Next word is obliterate. So obliteration is okay, completely wipe out or destroy is obliteration. Obliteration of terrorism is what we are aiming at. Obliteration of the carbon emission is what we are aiming at. Completely wipe out. It could be destruction or it could be finishing as well. The memory was so painful that he obliterated it from his mind. Okay. So because the memory disturbed him, he tried to wipe it away from his mind. That's obliteration. Next word is discourse. Discursive is a tone of the author used. Okay. Now let's discuss how can a tone of the author be discursive. It's a tricky one, everyone. Please understand this clearly. I would usually explain this in my classes, but since the word is here, we need to know that. Okay. Eradicate, annihilation, wipe out, demolish, destroy, all are correct. Yes, all are correct. Very good. Okay. So discursive a tone can be a tone where you have just in the dinner on the dinner table when the entire family is sitting. Okay. So your mom would be telling about I want to buy this new sari, and then your dad would say, "My day in the office was really good today. I was promised a promotion." And then you would say, "आज teacher ने मुझे डांट दिया, and my Hindu class teacher was not well today." And then your sister would say that I don't want to eat dal. I want to eat pizzas. What's happening here? What's happening here? It's basically, you know, you're talking about varied things, anything that's associated to the day. It goes from here to there, but there's a central idea. But anything that's related to it, you keep talking about that. So that kind of a discussion is a discursive tone. All right. Now, then comes a word discourse. So discourse is not a tone. Discourse is when you speak or write in the way that you have the authority. Like a Supreme Court judge gives his judgment. That's a discourse. Okay. So a judgment would be discourse because the judge is in the authority of giving a statement or writing a statement. That's going to be discourse. Understood both? Colloquial, yes, Ayushi, that can be used as a synonym to it. Yes, discursive, you are right. Okay? Feasible, अनादि हिंदी में समझाती हूँ. feasibility होती है क्या ये काम मुझे करना चाहिए, क्या मुझे डायमंड की रिंग खरीदनी चाहिए. तो मेरी मामा बोलेगी कि माय हस्बैंड मुझसे नहीं नहीं ये feasible नहीं है क्योंकि पैसा नहीं है मेरे पास. सो feasibility क्या ये चीज करी जानी चाहिए, क्या ये कन्वीनियंटली करी जा सकती है, ये उसकी feasibility होती है. Okay. All right. So डिस्कोर्स फिर से बताती हूँ अभी ना. डिस्कोर्स होता है जब एक पर्सन एक अथॉरिटी में होता है और उस अथॉरिटी को लेके कोई स्टेटमेंट आपको देता है, जैसे जजेस देते हैं, तो जजेस का जो स्टेटमेंट होता है या जजेस का जो वर्डिक्ट होता है वो डिस्कोर्स होता है, क्योंकि उनके पास अथॉरिटी है वो स्टेटमेंट देने की या वो डिसीजन देने की, दैट इज डिस्कोर्स. ओके. यस मुस्कान, दैट इज बेसिकली व्हाट डिस्कर्सिव इज. ओके. All right. The last one, dubious. When you doubt something, when you're hesitant about something, is dubious. I was rather dubious about the whole idea. So when people come on Shark Tank and they come up with their plans, their speeches, sometimes the sharks are a little dubious about investing in certain ideas. They have doubts. Should I mark C as the answer? If you're dubious, I would recommend you don't mark it, otherwise you'll get a negative. But then it depends on your practice. Slide number 2, जल्दी से screenshot ले लो सब लोग. Okay. Ambiguous, forms, hesitate, suspicion, doubt, all of these are synonyms. ये सब synonyms हैं. You're right. Yes. Okay. चलिए आगे चलते हैं next slide में. This word we had done it long time back. In fact, we kept doing it on and off, on and off. So when I talk about COVID, this term is used a lot of times. Epidemiological refers to the study of medicine that deals with controlling any disease or epidemic or pandemic. That study. So when the scientists develop vaccinations and medication to curb or cure or control COVID, that scientists belong to epidemiological study. Okay? Reiteration. I use this word a lot of times in my class. Repeating anything again and again. Make it clear is reiterate. Verbatim. Okay? Inarticulate. नहीं. नहीं. Okay? All right. Last word. Malady is a disease. Melody is different, that sweet sound. Malady is a disease, an ailment, something that makes you suffer. So I can say corruption is a malady in our economy these days. It's a disease, yes. Okay, slide number 3. Jaldi se screenshot le lo sab log. Let's move to the. Okay. Reiteration can be reinstated? Yes. Yes, Dipjot, it can be. Alright. Now let's move to the article. So, gaming and banning. So, some games, online games, are to be banned. Why? How? What is the reason? What can be the impact? Let's study this article, everyone. So, online gaming might be addictive, but a ban will mitigate against individual freedom. Now, there are two sides of every coin. One, when people say that since online gaming is addictive, have you seen my chat box? There are so many profiles with the name gaming attached to it. Have you seen that? Why are so many YouTube channels present on gaming? Because it is addictive. I have seen my cousins as young as maybe 8-year-old what just randomly watching free videos on Free Fire. कि कोई कैसे खेलता है Free Fire, random videos on that. So it is addictive. So banning that game online will have a good impact. But on the other side of the coin, it can actually violate your individual freedom of what to watch and what not. So yes, there are two sides of the coin. Let's understand this King Devil. Okay, yes. So now let's understand what is the idea of banning this and what impact would it have. So, yet another legislative attempt to prohibit online gaming has failed under judiciary scrutiny. So, the author has a negative opinion. Why does he have a negative opinion? Let's understand that. The amendments brought to existing regulations on betting and gambling in Karnataka have been struck down by the state high court. So, betting or gambling, लीगल होनी चाहिए या नहीं होनी चाहिए? देखो इसके भी दो साइड्स होते हैं. Betting and gambling, we know it happens. Okay, we know it happens, and everybody knows that. So there is one side that if we legalize it, it's going to increase the revenue of the government because then it's going to be taxable. But then, can we legalize something of this sort when people lose their entire household and everything, in nothing is left? So that's the idea. So the state high court actually it had struck down the legislation about betting and gambling. Last year, the Madras High Court also invalidated similar amendments that targeted online rummy and poker. Yes, I've seen people playing this as well. So the government had said that this should not be allowed, but the High Court had restricted that. What is common in both the cases is the legislature assumed a paternalistic role, arguably with the laudable aim of protecting the people. Paternalistic role क्या है यहाँ? The paternalistic role is that legislature thinks I am the parent. My job is to guide you. Since it is addictive, I am not let you going to do that. I will put a ban on that, like our parents would do. So that is why in both the cases of legalizing or illegalizing betting and gambling, and similarly putting a curb on rummy and poker playing online, the legislature played a role like a parent. कि नहीं तुमको एडिक्शन हो गया मैं बंद कर दूंगा इंटरनेट बंद करवा दूंगा नहीं चलेगा. Yes, especially the youth from the temptation of online gambling. However, the resulting provisions fail to make a distinction between games of skill and games of chance. Now, games of skill or games of chance, क्या हो रहा है ये? क्या हो रहा है ये? Okay, stop. Stop. Okay, no discussion about that. Okay. So the idea is that there are some online games which require skill, and then there are games that require only chance. Betting doesn't require skill; it's only a matter of chance. आज जब मार्केट ओपन होगा तो शेयर कौन से प्राइस पे लॉन्च होगा? आज जब मार्केट ओपन होगा तो गोल्ड किस प्राइस पे लॉन्च होगा? It's only a matter of chance. So there was no clear distinction between banning games that needed skill and banning games that needed only chance, and sought to bring under prescription all games played online. They said online gaming ही बंद कर दो, इंटरनेट ही बंद करवा दो, कोई गेमिंग भी नहीं खेलेगा, regardless of the extent to which skill was required. Further, the Karnataka High Court has rejected a key submission that it could be upheld as a public order law. तो ठीक है, एक डिस्टिंक्शन तो आ गया सबको समझ में. ठीक है कि स्किल बेस्ड गेम को भी बैन करने का उन्होंने डिसाइड किया, और एंड दे आल्सो डिसाइडेड टू बैन the games that were based on luck, where a distinction was necessary. Now, what happened? It referred to the menace of cyber games. So, menace is cyber games are troublesome. They said it. The cyber games are a menace of epic proportions, and the registration of about 28,000 cases by the police in the state in the last 3 years. अच्छा, oh, do you remember ऐसा भी एक गेम आया था कि आपको डेयर दिया जाता है and then people commit suicides after that and then you win the game. Do you remember a similar game that had surfaced? These cases, a lot of these cases were about people taking their lives for games. The government did have a point when it said many had taken their own lives and families ruined. Yes, betting. I have seen people whose lives, no, not people, whose families' lives were ruined. I had a colleague who, so as a result of gaming addiction and indebtedness. Addiction है तो आपके पास जो भी बचेगा आप उसको बेच बेच के you will put money in the market or maybe in cricket and then you will not be left with anything. However, as the court has pointed out, the objective was to curb the menace of gambling. तो गैम्बलिंग को कर्ब करने के लिए सारे साइबर गेम्स को आपने ब्लॉक कर दिया. Does that make sense? No, ब्लू व्हेल, yes. उनको लोगों को सब याद है. So many comments about blue whale. Blue whale. True. Exactly. So people took their lives and then they sold everything they had. They sold the entire earnings the parents did. So the government should prohibit activities that amount to gambling as such and not the games of skill. I mean, बात बताओ मुझे ये free fire is it a game of skill? What do you think? Is it a game of skill? Because if this law is passed, then all the online games will be prohibited, be it gambling or skill-based game. Is Free Fire a game of skill? I would like to know that. Yes? Okay. Okay. All right. All of you saying. While enacting the extreme measure, it did not consider the feasibility of regulating wagering on games of. Okay, now wagering on the games of skill. देखो skill based game है cricket, but wagering तो skill based games पे भी हो सकता है ना. So there's no clear distinction of what is legal and what is not. So with that idea, the legislature said that everything online should be put a control on. Yes, yes, there are multiple competitions held with these online games, online rummy and poker as well. So while the idea of betting and gambling conjures up the image of a bucket shop. What's a bucket shop? Have you seen the movie Guru? Guru, if I'm not wrong with the name, where Abhishek Bachchan plays the role of Ambani. Yes. So in that movie, when he goes to the शेयर मार्केट फर्स्ट और वो छोड़ो अभी आपने ये वाली मूवी भी देखी होगी ना ऑन द स्टॉक मार्केट एक्सचेंज तो वहां पहले क्या होता है ना बिफोर द स्टॉक मार्केट ओपन्स पीपल गो एंड देन दे स्टैंड ऑन टेबल्स एंड दे अनाउंस वो रेट डिसाइड करते हैं कि व्हेन मार्केट ओपन्स व्हाट रेट वुड द शेयर्स ओपन इन अब उसके अकॉर्डिंग वो कम हो सकता है ज्यादा हो सकता है सो ये भी एक तरीके की बेटिंग ही होती है आप सिर्फ आइडिया लगाते हो कि यूक्रेन पे अगर अटैक होगा तो गोल्ड की प्राइस अप जा सकती है देखो ये तो बेसिक कैलकुलेशन है दैट द गोल्ड की प्राइस विल गो अप बिकॉज देन यूक्रेन वुड सेल ऑफ इट्स गोल्ड and then there would be buyers and xyz multiple things so that is basically what a bucket shop is okay where people these are dingy rooms where people predict the price of the shares that go up the big bull as well exactly the big bull as well and scam as well Harshad Mehta all of these have shown what bucket shops are all of these uh, have shown the cases so uh, this idea of betting and gambling will make up an image, a scary image in our mind of a bucket shop, which is associated with dingy gaming houses frequented by hustlers. There is an element of information, expression, and entertainment that has constitutional protection. Now, see, I have a constitutional right of information, expression, and entertainment. And if a bucket shop entertains me, if betting or wagering entertains me, why don't I do that? It has, and the gaming platforms are also a legitimate business that enjoy the freedom of trade when used for online version of games of skill. So अभी तक skill पे जो wagering होती है वो legalized है और online वो legalized है. So फिर इसमें गलत क्या है? The author is saying, what is wrong with that? You have your liberty of expression and entertainment. These wagering on games of skill are legal. What is the idea of putting a ban on that? What is match fixing? I will not talk about this right now, bache. Okay. Tanu, bache, please don't make it very difficult for me. Okay? The court has drawn attention to the fact that what such bans do is create a wholly new category of medium-based regulations when chance of medium per se does not alter the true nature and content of the game. Okay, what does this statement say? The idea is that when a ban is put in place on games like these, they don't change the nature of the game. They put a regulation on the game. And that may have a negative impact. Understand how? What is targeted is not the gambling part but the online part. Whereas the gambling part should be dealt with, which is a menace in the society. The online part is not a menace. So when you put regulations on everything that's played online, be it related to gambling or not. Also, the amendments contradicted a general exemption in the original law, the games of skill. In the original law was games of skill are allowed, but then this amendment said is proposed that any kind of online game, be it skill or not, is not allowed. So it is clear that an absolute embargo on games of skill involving money or stakes could not have been upheld by the government, as the line between individual freedom, both to carry on the business and to participate as a consumer. You can carry on a business of online gaming, you can be a participant, and the state action could not have been obliterated. All legislation that assumes that sections of society require the hand of the state to guide and support them have some populist appeal. So the belief that हमको guidance चाहिए state की, हम बच्चे हैं and state एक paternalistic approach रखता है, it has some populist appeal and there is an addictive element to online gaming, but that does not mean there is no individual freedom and choice at all. ये बात true है that the online gaming is addictive, but individual freedom and choice need to be did according to the author. What is the tone here, everyone? You guys have gone crazy. आज कोई पढ़ाई नहीं करनी है तो. What is the tone of the author, everyone? Tone. What is the tone, everyone? Purva, populist is a person who represents those people. He's a politician basically who would represent those people who are disregarded by the government or who those people who are neglected. जब उनको representation करने के लिए कोई person आगे आता है as a politician, वो एक populist होता है. ओके, तो हमारी गवर्नमेंट को सबको साथ में लेके चलना चाहिए, उसको पॉपुलिस्ट होना चाहिए, एक ऐसा रूल नहीं बना देना चाहिए जो सब चीजों को कर्व कर दे. इट्स क्रिटिकल, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली क्रिटिकल. यस, ऑलराइट, ओके गाइस, so since a lot of you joined me late, let me take you through a few things before I discuss anything. Today at 4 p.m., almost all of the faculty here at BYJU'S Exam Prep, we would come online together, and hopefully me too, and we will be discussing about what toppers do differently. Make sure you come live for this session. One. Two, I would not be taking two articles today. I would be taking only one article today. Uh, I am extremely sorry for that. Please bear with me for a few days till I recuperate completely. Okay. I just don't want to completely omit the classes which I have done on Mondays and Tuesdays. So I hope you understand the fact that I'm not well, and hopefully tomorrow or maybe day after we can do this. And Saturday को भी मैं कोशिश करूंगी एक हिंदू क्लास लेने की. Okay, I hope you understand that. Let's look at today's Hindu and Indian Express so that you know आपको importantly पढ़ना क्या है ना. So uh, uh, figure of speech is already planned on coming Monday. I have planned a class on figure of speech on Monday. Okay, let's look at the Hindu and Indian Express. Let's see what's important. Give me a second. I'll open up. I'll check all your messages on Telegram. Okay. Let's look at the Hindu today. Text and context भी देख लेते हैं. Yes, ये important है, इसको please पढ़ लेना. ये सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये आपको पढ़ना जरूरी है। ठीक है। बहुत बहुत अच्छा आर्टिकल है ये, बहुत अच्छा। Who wrote it? My favorite court, Madras High Court. And a student of law, Symbiosis Law School, Hyderabad. Impressive. After the budget crypto signal awaits reforms. Read that. Sign of peace. ये आपको अपडेटेड रहना पड़ेगा क्या हो रहा है ना, क्योंकि कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है. Look at the next page. प्रियंका, फिगर ऑफ स्पीच की क्लास यूट्यूब पे ही होगी. ओके, राइट. नो, प्लीज रीड दिस. ओके, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, सिर्फ एक ही आर्टिकल इंपॉर्टेंट है. लेट्स कम टू टेक्स्ट एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट. नो, ये खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है अभी. फाइनल हियरिंग हो गई. यस, ही वाज कन्विक्टेड. नो, यू कैन लीव दिस. आज टेक्स्ट एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट में भी बहुत कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. दिस इज नाइस. वेरी गुड. तो पढ़ लेना. I'll share this in the Telegram group. Okay, that's all. Now let's look at the Indian Express. People stand up on hijab is critical. It is. No, policy is not too important to leave to the experts. Leave this. Sebi's order point to glaring. Yes, important. Despite recent peace moves, Ukraine situation is uncertain. दोनों में से एक पेपर में पढ़. Ashwini Kumar has flagged what's wrong with the Congress. Leave this. Kapil Larry, पढ़ लेना. And what the hijab ban really is about. Yes. India must prioritize stability in Myanmar. Yes, that's all. Charm of opinion. That's all. Okay. So guys, आज फिर शुरजीत sir आ गए. Okay. So guys, that is all for today. Okay, winding up the class. I'll see you at 4. Bye everyone. Have a very good day.